Says I am. Okay. Hmm. Okay. Okay. I'm live. Apparently, I'm live. Hmm. Just making all my stuff's on and as it's supposed to be. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, it's there. It is. It's there. Okay. All right. It's Saturday, December 12th. It's a little after 8. It's a little more like 20 minutes from the 15 I warned people about, so hopefully it's a Saturday night. We're all hunkered down. I hope that people are hunkered down as they're supposed to be. Because of the plague, the Trump plague. But we're not here to talk about that. So I'm just going to be here, just, as I do. I've been doing this for, a little over a week now, something like that. I took first night was sort of a test. I took one night off. So technically, yeah, we're calling it episode 7. And actually, is this episode 8? This actually might be episode 8. I'm not sure now. Already losing track. Go figure. Big surprise, right? Yeah. So there it is. I'm gonna make sure my comments thing. Hi, Joe. Alone again, I see. Yeah. Okay, so comments are working. And making sure that they are working. Again, I see. Yeah. Okay, so comments are working. No, it's interesting. I have to bring that down there. Okay, so I'm just looking at this. Anyway, so in lieu of things to talk about, last night I talked about half a half hour about current politics, because it was a fairly momentous day in America as we know it, and it's a sort of ongoing somewhat. And then the rest of the time I spent looking through some of my old notebooks, which had some old poetry and some other dumbass shit that I'm intrigued by, but sort of also embarrassed by in equal measure. So now that said, I doesn't mean I'm not going to, potentially, do some more of that down the road. I probably will. But for today, I'm looking for something. I'm looking for something to wipe something down with, and I can't find anything. I thought I had something up here, but apparently I don't. But that's fine. All right. So what happens is, I don't. In a lot of honesty, I'm not putting a hell of a lot of thought into these. I'm just sort of doing them. Part of what is it's part of a thing that I'm doing. I'm just creating some content that I can maybe put together into a reel for people that are maybe looking for voice talent. So if you hear me up here, if those who know who I am obviously know I'm a singer and all that. But I've had people recently who don't know I'm a singer tell me, oh, I've got this great voice. I've got a great voice for radio. Which is, many years I've always thought, oh, it would be cool to have a radio show, right? And, these days, with the way the technology is and the fact that we're all, hunkered down in this shit, I can do the closest thing to a radio show that I can think, which is just to kind of go Facebook Live or YouTube Live. I think I did one of them was YouTube Live. I might do Instagram too. I might just kind of mix it up a little bit and see if people are interested. So, so far, nobody's interested. So there it is. It'd be nice if people showed up just to chat and to kind of watch me do stuff. That's the whole point of it. But that's fine. I can do it as a recorded thing, and I've been putting them up on YouTube. A few people have been going up there. hopefully people will come up and see. There's, this particular night I sent specific invites to folks that I know do what I do. So one of the things I'm talking about tonight, and this definitely won't be the first time, the first or the last time. No, it'll be the first time, just won't be the last time. So I'm an avid record slash DVD box set slash memorabilia slash vinyl, blah 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 kind of collector type. Yeah, I'm not one of those who just has all of his stuff on in the cloud on files. All my music. I need to have, as much as I have versions of those things. So like if I'm in the car, I need to have. I'm of that age. I need to have the tactile experience of holding vinyl or a piece of, that piece of art in my hand, whatever it might be. I mentioned this a couple of days ago there was a couple of nights ago I was talking about the Monkees and how they loomed large in my legend as a child, and that was the first thing that got me into collecting. Obviously, in this back in the 70s, looking for old Monkees records and ones that I didn't have, and it was sort of this endless sort of journey of discovery, and there was really nothing like learning about, I just remember like the first time that I learned that there were certain singles with picture sleeves that I didn't know about, or albums that had been released that I didn't know about. I remember the first time I learned about an album, their last album that they released in 1970 when they were still an entity, so to speak, was the Changes album. I think I don't remember what was the first time I don't know. I don't remember the exact moment of it happening, but I just remember it's like, oh shit, I've got to look out for this, right? And then, sure enough, at one of those record meets, the Dr. Oldies record meets that I went to, starting 40 plus years ago, at the Howard Johnson's in Pawtucket, not far from where I live now. And I remember going into there. I remember being able to get in. My mom drove me. We got in a little early, I think, and they had Dr. Oldie was there just doing his DJ thing, and you could go up to him and ask if people had certain records. So of course I went up and I said, hey, does anybody have the Monkees Changes, right? And a few minutes go by, little murmurings, and suddenly someone pops their hand up with it. I remember I paid $12 for it, and this would have been 1978, maybe 9, maybe. And at the time, it wasn't anything anybody was looking for, so it wasn't that. Oh, I remember the first time I learned about it. That's right. I also had a book about record collecting, it was basically a price guide. So, I looked, of course, under the Monkees, and then looked at all of the albums that were released, and sure enough, that's how I knew that there was an album called Changes. Anyway, so I got that album. Then I still have it. Getting another copy of that is like pulling teeth, because now they're going for big bucks. The original pressings of those, they're not cheap anymore, and if you do find one, they're not necessarily in the best shape. Anyway, those who collect records understand. So, but tonight I'm gonna sort of fixate, and this will be like a part 1. So like maybe tomorrow will be part 2. Woohoo! I'm doing a serial. Oh boy, I'm doing a cliffhanger. What was I gonna say? So what I'm gonna do? So all right. Backtracking. So anyway, I don't take a lot of time to figure out what the hell I'm going to talk about just before I go live. I think it's becoming part of like what I'm doing. I have to it has to come to me, right? So along with my record collecting, one of the things that's gotten more traction lately, which I had stopped doing for a long while, was buying 7-inch records, 45s, in picture sleeves and otherwise. Usually with picture sleeves for me. I like a 7-inch with a picture sleeve, you know. So so today I must admit I did go out to my local In Your Ear, Chris Singh, the store in Warren, and I felt the need. I really had to get out for a little bit. You know, I know it's probably not a good idea. You know, and I get PU'd at people that go out, but you know something. There are certain people that I feel like I want and need to support business wise. I mean, these are the places that I go to normally, especially as a small business. You know, so he's high on that list for me. And you know, even when we were closed in the spring, I made sure to try to peruse the website and you know, help out as best as I can, as well as doing my normal thing. This is, for me, that's mental health. Going in and thumbing through records and stuff like that is mental health for me. It's like a session. Always has been, always will. So, you know, there it is. So anyway, I went there. You know, just I had always have things in my head. If I know I'm gonna go out, I go and I you know, hopefully actively search it out. So it being Christmas time, I definitely was just looking at the Christmas. I was looking at, you know, some CDs and, you know, used CDs and stuff like that. And there's a few things that I had in my head of things that I wanted to buy or that I don't have. One of which is, and of course, speaking of the Monkees, in the 70s and in the mid 70s, 3 of the Monkees, without Mike Nesmith, so Peter, Mickey, and Davey got together with their original producer Chip Douglas and put out a very limited, you know, self-produced run of 45s, basically. Christmas Christmas is My Time of Year, backed with White Christmas. And so it's really nice, really good single. Really, you know, I've heard it. I mean, I have copies of it in various forms and over the years, but I've never had that. That's like the one single I don't have of theirs. And so you know, so I'm always on the lookout for that. And you know, I don't often look at in the 45 bins. And so I just thought, you know, something, because also he had all the, you know, the Christmas 45s in one place, so it all worked out, right? So I'm looking through those. So, you know, as luck would have it, no, I didn't find that one, unfortunately, but I did find another one that, like, it's always been in the back of my head to look for, because it's one of those sort of rare kinds of things. So any people who are fans of XTC know that they're fond of donning different guises when they record and releasing things. You know, more to the point, they've, you know, put out a couple of records as the Dukes of Stratosphere, as this long lost psychedelic band from the 60s that's, you know, that no one remembered. But one of the few things that they put out that a lot of people don't remember, or it seems to get kind of, you know, it kind of gets glossed over, though it does appear on their it was like a odds and sods CD called Rag and Bone Buffet, and it's basically they donned the guise of the Three Wise Men, and basically it's 2 songs, Thanks for Christmas and Christmas Party Time, and it says it's produced by the Three Wise Men and the Good Lord. So that's that. And it's a really lovely. It's an import. I don't believe it was ever, if it was ever released in the United States. I don't believe it was. I'm trying to get it so that there's no glare. It's kind of difficult. Anyway, so they dressed up as the thing. So nice picture sleeve, right? And you know, it's pretty clean copy. I mean, it's a little dusty and stuff. I got to clean it, but in general, it's a lovely copy, right? So yeah, this is a nerdy episode for sure. So just deal with it. For those of you who are on, which is nobody. So I was able to grab one of those, right? And so that was a lovely surprise because I've not had one of those. So one of the things with XTC is that they've had a number of 45 releases when, especially obviously when when they were in still a group. And Andy Partridge is an artist as well as a genius songwriter, so he would come up with a lot of the graphic ideas for these releases. And I only really had one of them, and it might be in this pile that I grabbed, but I'll have to look and see. But anyway, the other thing. So while I was at it, I figured, all right, well, okay, if I'm going to look for XTC, bits and bobs, then I'm gonna look. I'm gonna keep looking in some of these other bins and see what I can find. Right. So I was able to actually. Let me see here. Let me see. Yeah, these are all sort of newish. Newish. Oh, I have it. Yep, there it is. I'd find it. I can put them all together. Anyway, so the only one that I did have was this one, No Thugs in Our House, 45 package. And if you look at the packaging, it's just like this lovely picture sleeve. So it's No Thugs in Our House, and it's backed with Chain of Command, Limelight Over Rusty Water, which is around the English settlement and drums and wires era. But anyway, if you look closer at this, it's got this lovely little sort of diorama thing going on with the big it's got this thing. So you basically can it's got these little inserts where you can cut out. You make cutouts of these characters that you can bring them in and on this little fake stage if you wanted. So you would put them and have them. You can't see I'm not cutting it but you can see the legs, so you can kind of get the idea, right? And yeah, but it's just this lovely, just really lovely. You can see the labels a little bit, but so it just a lot of work goes into these tiny releases, and again, these were not released in the States as far as I'm aware. These are all imports. So the amount of time and love that they've put into those. So anyway, so I got a few more, but I found a bunch more today. So I found a bunch of them. So now this is just a simple. This is a simple one. Just you can see, and this one is Respectable Street and Strange Tales, Officer Blue from. This is from. I always forget here. From Black Sea. Sorry, yeah. So there's that. That one's pretty simple, straightforward. There's another one, Ball and Chain, and nice purple. So just sort of a really kind of nice classic look, and you can tell it's an import by this flip back type of thing. And this is Virgin Records pressing, so you can kind of see that. But I'm excited about this next one because And I've seen pictures of it, of this. It's a double. It's actually a double. Um, it's a double 45. So there's two 7-inches in here. So Love on a Farm Boy. So this is from Skylarking era, and you can see that this is like meant to look like a wallet, right? And if you open it, it does the same thing. It has this lovely graphic thing going on there. And apparently, this was Andy Partridge's actual wallet that he just kind of had that front foil thing stamped onto it, and they took pictures of it, and it's you can kind of get a sense of the it's just a big old kind of envelope there. It doesn't even have like the spine isn't even attached here, so you have to be careful. So it's definitely a used copy, but it's got 4 songs. It's got Toys, Desert Island as the C and D sides, and then the A side is again Loving the Farm Boy's Wages. Oh no, I'm sorry, Jump and Wonderland. That's interesting. So why would that be? Am I missing something? Desert Island. So I'm a little confused. Something I'm just realizing that I'm wondering if this has the wrong disc in it. I'll have to look into this because I'm not seeing that because Jump and Wonderland are actually set different singles. So that's interesting. Okay, I didn't notice that before. So I have a little investigatory whatever to do. Anyway, so I'm on the road to start that particular conversation with XTC 45s. So next up on my pile here is things that I grew up with, things that again loom large in my youth. Like one of the real starts of where I started collecting. So we have the Banana Splits, right? So what this was, you can see the Kellogg's thing, right up there, and lyrics and the whole thing. This was a combination of 2 different records. Same thing. It's got lyrics back there. So, we're talking basically 8 songs. So so the first thing is the doing the Banana Split. I enjoy being a boy. The beautiful Calliope. Let me remember you smiling. And you can see the label is also like it's bananas basically. You can see the Kellogg's thing there. But so I had these when I was younger. As a matter of fact, the one that I have, or one of the ones that I have, is the actual original record, which is beat to shit. And what it is that so I found just this by itself, oddly enough, so that I was able to just add it so that so I need to get a better version of the vinyl part, but I have I basically have the complete set as they are, and these are not cheap anymore. These are running pretty expensive now. Again, these quiche items that those of us as young people. So anyway, At the time, I would have been 4 years old. It would have been 1969 when the banana splits were a thing. Eating sweet cereals on Saturday mornings, and obviously the banana splits were a big part of it, as were the monkeys. So, for me, monkeys collecting was a lot of 45s. And I'm going to do that on a separate night. But I remember getting them in the mail, but I remember having them, but I would play with them like toys. Like I didn't, and that was part of the problem. So what ended up happening at one point, it's one of those moments I'll never forgive my father for, right? So I had one of those picture sleeves, and I was just playing with it, and I was playing with it in the car, and somehow it fell into between the window and the car door, like inside the car door. It was a big old fat Buick. And, my father, being who he was, took it upon himself to basically, give me some sort of lesson as like, well, that'll show you not to play with the thing and the blah, blah, blah. Like basically making no effort whatsoever, even though seeing I was extremely upset about it, to potentially fish it out. And it wouldn't have taken much. But no, he had to be a dick about it. And that's where it remained. Forever. And every once in a while I would look down there and I'd see it. It was like right there, and no one would help. No one would, just no one gave a shit. That was my childhood. So wherever that Buick is, that picture sleeve is still in the door. If it hasn't been crushed already, whatever. So yeah, welcome to my childhood, right? So one wonders why I fall to these things as my comfort, So, the fact that I was able to get another version of it, I look at that as kind of a big fuck you to my father. So, Yeah, see, I talk about psychotherapy as part of my chat stuff, so just deal with it. A few other bits and pieces here. Record Store Day has become a new major source of the vinyl collecting, so a lot of really great releases have come out. Now, this one is from a few years back. It's the Beatles, Strawberry Fields, and Penny Lane. These are the Giles Martin remixes. There we go, a little bit. I can do it. It's a little off center, but at least there's no glare. So it's still sealed, actually. It's got the splash sticker, but it's a reproduction of the original, right? Again, and these are the remixes that Giles Martin did a few years back as part of the Sgt. Pepper re-release back in '67. So this would have been from 2017. So once again, these are at this point are going for a bit of a penny. I probably shouldn't talk too much about this online, but it is what it is. And here's another one. This is another sort of anniversary release of their first single from '63, and apparently this is one of the ones that has the wrong mix of Love Me Do on it. So again, I got lucky with that. And then we have the Yellow Submarine picture disc, which this is pretty common these days. But again, this was released in a limited amount, and it's Yellow Submarine, Eleanor Rigby. I love that you can see it's made in Czech Republic. So some other Record Store Day things here. I don't know if I can take the. Take these off. I don't know if I'm able to or not. Maybe not. Let's see. Oh, there we go. I was. All right. So this is a Small Faces Record Store Day one. It is a single from Ogden's Nut Gone Flake album. It's a glow in the dark. Supposedly a glow in the dark release. Again, it's sealed. I didn't want to open this one up. So, but apparently, if you were to charge that up as a glow in the dark thing, I don't know if that'll work, if that'll work or not. But hard to see if that would glow. I'd have to turn off off all the lights, but it's hard to tell. Yeah, I think it needs a bigger charge. Anyway, so then same thing. I got this is another. Well, this is actually part of a bigger number of releases, but the Kinks from Arthur. This was released also at the same time as the box set that came out last year or 2 years ago, whatever it is. Anyway. This is just a used single. It's a picture single of Peter Gabriel, Shock the Monkey. So, you know, kind of cool to have, you know, stuff like that. So, you know, it's it's just fun stuff to have. That's all. That's what it comes down to. So here's another Record Store Day piece, and this has a DVD as part of it. But it's basically John Cage meets Sun Ra. And it's got a cool, it's got a lovely sort of little mini gatefold there with some liner notes. And again, the DVD. And you don't really necessarily think of Sun Ra and John Cage as having, as the kind of artists that would technically put something out on a 45, but you know, there you go, and it's clear too. So it's just like really crystal clear vinyl, right? That's cool. So these are, you know, a lot of these are not necessarily meant to play more than once, but you know, that's kind of what's cool about it. Like I said, there are these little lovely art pieces. I'll get that back in there. I'll wait to. All right. So, it's another recent EP release. Now these are 7 inches, but they're 33 1/3. So Kimbra's last album, she put out a double 33, double 7-inch of sort of acoustic or orchestral versions of some songs from her last record. So there's, you know, there's 4 songs. So same thing, or, you know, real nice kind of really classy kind of, you know, gatefold thing going on there. Hard to see. Again, it's a little, I need a better camera situation away from seeing the stuff on my but you know, but just, you know, nice, I mean, just, you know, just simple black, but a nice package, right? It's just you know, I like when artists are doing kind of cool releases like that, and that's actually, that one's another rare one that I got a couple of copies of, and for obvious reasons. So here's another Record Store Day one that is a little stuck. Here we go. So this is actually, I have an original version of this. So this is a reissued for Record Store Day of the Christmas EP that was put out in the mid-70s by Jethro Tull. And these are remixes by Giles Martin. So, and again, I have the original, and I have all of these songs, you know, in files somewhere. So I didn't feel the need to want to open that up. Um, and then there's another one, another Record Store Day Rush, Closer to the Heart. Oops, there we go. And it's for the Feral World of Kings 40th anniversary. And we got another one here. So this is kind of another cool one. It's actually, you can see from the sticker there. Emerson Lake and Palmer replica brain salad surgery one-sided flexi disc single. So apparently this was something that was put out in the 70s around the time of the album, but it's got the full kind of cut out fold out of the Geiger thing. And this is another one that is got a nice, it's got the clear vinyl. That's cool. I love that stuff. So that, just another really cool little piece. Not sure how many of those are left, but I haven't seen many. All right, so this next one is a good one. So there's a box set for Syd Barrett that houses all of the three main albums that were put out. The first two in the day, which were Madcap Laughs and then Barrett, and then later way into the 80s when they put out Opel. So then they put out a box set that has those three albums, and every single album has like extra takes and things. It's about as comprehensive as you're going to get, apart from having the sessions from 1974, which were just aborted. Really, you can find those on YouTube. But as part of that, they put out a 7-inch single using the same artwork, and this has 4 songs: Terrapin, Octopus, Baby Lemonade, and Effervescing Elephant. It says limited edition colored vinyl EP, and it's got a pink, of course, for Pink Floyd, because that's appropriate. So same thing with this. I got a really good deal on that one, sort of out of nowhere. And so Fleet Foxes, or sort of a more modern kind of act. They put out some nice bits and pieces here or there. We got Robin Hitchcock live at the Troubadour. This was also another Record Store Day release, and a number of these that are coming up are Record Store releases for sure. So bunch of Frank Zappa ones. My Guitar, Dog Breath, and it's got sort of a lowish number. Well, that's pretty cool. There's another one, Mothers of Invention. This also has is a numbered piece, but again, these are Record Store Day bits and pieces. A lot of stuff from Barking Pumpkin. There's another one. This was the let's see. This is with the Royal Philharmonic. It was the overture for 200 Motels. And again, that's on like a deep purple vinyl. So that's a fun one. Let's see here. I've got a few more. A few more Record Store Day 45s. Mouth Congress. So that's Scott Thompson and Paul Bellini of Kids in the Hall fame. They had a band called Mouth Congress before Kids in the Hall were a thing, and these are taken from old tapes of their punk band, so they put them out on vinyl. So that's fun. Pink Floyd, Arnold Lane. This is another Record Store D bits and piece. This is also a bit of promo for the Pulse reissue that happened a few weeks back. Oops. Starting to fall. Hang on a minute. On Pink Floyd's David Gilmour's recent release, Yes, I Have Ghosts. That was a record store day. And then we get to George Harry Stone, My Sweet Lord. So it says limited edition clear vinyl, and it's also numbered. Where's it numbered? Oh, yeah, there it is. It's up on the top. All right, see it. So George Harrison's record, All Things Must Pass, turned 50 this year. So, so online they put out a new mix of All Things Must Pass, and I'm not sure yet, but I think the mixes on this single are new mixes as well. So because I have a feeling they're going to be re-releasing the record again for the nth time in a remixed fashion, which I hope they do, because I'll buy it in a heartbeat. I found this nice 45 Jethro Tull Passion Play edit, which was unusual for considering that record. It's a promo. And let's see. Get back in there after. All right, so I have a bunch of things from the Firesign Theater here. Those of you who know me know that I'm a big Firesign Theater nerd as well. So their first single that was released in between How Can You Be in Two Places at Once, and then their third album, Don't Crush That Dwarf. So you can kind of get the single is its own entity. Station Break backed with Forward into the Past. So this, those two pieces only exist as this single, which is also a promo. This is also a promo version of that. So another piece that I hadn't had, and I finally looked for and found for a pretty good price. So, and then along with that, now this is also a rare one. This one came in pretty recently. It's also the Firesign Theater. This is actually excerpts from, or an excerpt from the album. That's also a promo. And you can see it just says this side, but you can see on the back side, there's literally nothing. There's no grooves. It's just blank. So anybody who's never seen a blank single before, that's what it looks like. So kind of weird. That's one way of not having to worry about paying for a second stamper. And then, so another one here, there's another promo. I'm wondering if these were actually ever actually released. This is an EP, more of an EP, at 33 1/3. This was part of release for Everything You Know Is Wrong album, so it's got excerpts from that, and you can see it also that the sleeve itself has sort of like a stamped, so that's pretty interesting. It's got its own little. So I know some people are looking at me going, "This is boring, man." Oh, this is what I do. Nerds know what I'm talking about. So this is a bonus record that was part. It says not for sale. It was part of Phil Austin of the Firesign Theater, his solo record, Roller Maidens from Outer Space. It's a bonus record that has some songs and things and excerpts from it. So it's another one I didn't have for a while until I found it. So then I have another version of this that's sealed, but this is the Firesign Theater Fighting Clowns, Reagan Carter. This was put out back in 1980, and that's the cover. Oops, that's the cover or the picture sleeve part. And that picture sleeve was done by Phil Hartman. Yeah, that Phil Hartman. So along with that, I have a couple of box sets, which are kind of cool. So I have the Happy Christmas Beatle People box set, and what this is the official Beatles fan club releases. So all sort of reproduced and put into this lovely little box. So you can kind of see, and they're all, they've all got their own colored. They didn't come colored at the time, and I also, once again, have not. I haven't opened these, but they look really kind of cool. Now, I think though that there is these. I think a couple of these were supposed to be. I think they were originally gatefold sleeves, and these are not. I would have to go back and look to see what some of the originals were like, but I think that that's the case. But you can kind of see. So these were the releases that they put out for the fan club only, and so these, if you've not heard them, I mean, again, I think these days I don't know if you can listen to them on YouTube or not, but they're probably online somewhere. And I think so. Like, I think this one might have been a gatefold. I'm just not sure. It's the one from '67, probably the weirdest one. Basically, from '66 on, they got really weird. '68, they started kind of not collaborating with each other. They kind of did their own thing, and you can kind of hear it. And then this is finally the last one that came out. It's a little abstract, but that came out in 1970 or '69, and 4 months later they were gone, and that was that. And and that was that. So along with the Beatles, if you're talking Beatles, we're talking like kind of the big hoo-ha here. So the Beatles singles collection. So what this is all of their singles, the original English singles, but they're put into pictures, mainly because of the original singles, other than a couple, didn't have picture sleeves. So what they did is they took foreign picture sleeves and just kind of put them, the singles as they existed in the 60s into these sort of picture sleeves. So you can kind of get a sense of what they look like. And of course there's a booklet in there, because why not? So this is why I like box sets. I like the tactile sort of nature of it, and just the multiple pieces of things and whatnot. Two minutes, huh? What does that mean? Not sure what that means. I hope I'm live. I hope people are seeing this. It seems like they are. I mean, it seems like I'm live, so yeah. But I'm the somehow I may be the only person seeing it, so I don't know. Anyway, so but you can see that. So what they did is they just they put all of them. So the other thing that they did though is that they also, so like this first one, Love Me Do, P.S. I Love You, was put into what was released in the U.S. as the picture sleeve that was on Tolly Records, which was one of the labels that they were put on before Capitol. Where's that sweet spot? Anyway. And so they went to great pains to reproduce these in a really lovely fashion. And so like that, and then like this one is sure what's Polyphone. So this looks like it might be a Greek one. You can kind of see you can see the label there. But they reproduce these in a real, so that's a really nice box set. Lost Beatles, so that's pretty obvious that's like. And then we're talking. Not sure what that is. Well, that's Russian, or Czechoslovakian, or Czech Republic, or something like that. And this is definitely, if you look at the picture sleeve, that's like Spanish. And Milano, so this looks like this might have been Italian. So anyway, you get the idea about that. So, that's fun. That's beyond fun. So, I've been on for about 51 minutes. I'll close her down on about 9 because, once again, no one's here to watch me do stupid shit. But anyway, one of the things you can find on eBay is a lot of weird stuff, a lot of crazy sort of deals and interesting items. And one item I saw. So one of the other things that I collect or have collected somewhat is a certain amount of Laugh-In, Rona Martin's Laugh-In memorabilia. So, they had a couple of releases, and a few of the people that were associated with them. So one of the things, Ruth Buzzy and Artie Johnson put out this little single, and it's again, this is also a promotion. You can kind of see it, but it's so it's kind of a back-to-back. So Ruth Buzzy and Artie Johnson and Don't Futz Around, it says. And then the flip side of that is Artie Johnson and Ruth Buzzy, Very Interesting. You can see that there. I don't know if you can see that there or not. So, talking deep subject here. But what the selling point of that was, so that single was at the time back in 1968 or 9 or whatever it was. Actually, does it say? Doesn't say the exact year, but knowing the pedigree of it. This is also produced by Richard Perry, for those who know who he is. Anyway, but yeah, this would have been at 68, 69, something like that. And anyway, so what the auction was for this. It's an audio disc. It's a shellac. It's an acetate that was created and burned, or not burned, but cut at Gold Star Studios, which is no longer in existence, but is extremely, if we're talking, Gold Star Studios where everybody recorded in the 60s. So this would have been recorded on the premises. And you can see what it is it's an acetate of the single, Very Interesting. Now, I haven't played it, but there's 2 tracks on there, so I don't know if it's in 2 different forms, because it says 45 RPMs, but then it also says 33 1/3. So again, I haven't played it, but what's interesting is that on the back of it, and it's all scratched out, so you can't play it, it says Airplane by Koppelman Rubin. And it's something I've been meaning to look for or to see what the pedigree of that is. But you can kind of see that, that someone basically scratched that out so that it wasn't something anyone could listen to. So they clearly just used the back of it because it was blank. So it's an interesting artifact that I have from Gold Star Studios. Just because. There you go. There's that. I may do more of this. Obviously, like I said, I have a lot of records. Um, I'm just like I said, I'm just doing this because I can. I think that on that note, it's a little after 9 o'clock. I've got about 5 minutes left. So I don't know, guys. You got about 5 minutes before before I go away. Um, but that's fine. So I can see a number of people have put the thumbs up, but yeah, dude, it's Facebook. Yeah, live on Facebook. I'm not sure why people are not. I have a feeling maybe people are confused. I don't know. I'm not sure. Maybe I need to be more specific. I don't know. I know that the other day, there was one other day where the stream got cut because I was playing something copywritten. And mainly because, so like one of the things I wanted to try and do was to potentially, and I'm not sure if it's going to work or not, would be to do a Christmas Eve show. Just for shits and giggles. Mainly just because I'm going to be doing stuff on Christmas Eve that I normally do, which is just listening to Christmas music, watching Christmas shows and things, and just kind of farting around. I'm clearly not going out anywhere. And I don't normally go out anywhere on a Christmas Eve anyway. Very rarely. Though I tell you what, starting next year, assuming that hopefully maybe by this time next year we're able to go out and do things, would be nice. Might be nice to maybe even have some folks over, if they're interested. Start creating a few new traditions if possible. I mentioned that back in my younger days, my family, my extended family would do these great. We would get together a number of different days of the year. Like July 4th was another big one, but then Christmas Eve. Now, before I was born, apparently they would also do New Year's Eve, and I think they must have just gotten tired of it because it was just like too much all at once, right? So anyway, they would do Christmas Eve with all the extended folks and the aunts, the uncles, aunts, and cousins and grand folks and all that, and we would get together at somebody's house that could handle it, that many people, and we would, I don't know, we would sit there for hours and just we would eat and drink and cavort and chat and laugh and play and get gifts, which was always a big thing, and toward the end of it, though, it got to the point where it became like a Secret Santa kind of thing, where you got gifts from specific people instead of everybody getting a gift from everybody, kind of thing, because I think it just got too expensive. But anyway, so yeah, good traditions to remember that I again, I don't miss them, but I certainly remember them fondly for sure. So who knows? Yeah, maybe next year some new traditions can start happening. Might be nice. Anyway, so I'm about at 59:30, so I'm gonna close up shop, and yeah, that's kind of it. So I guess the thing I gotta look at is to see if people are somehow not seeing that this link is up on my Facebook channel. I don't know. Maybe that's what it is. I invited people along, but I don't know if they're seeing it or not. And maybe they're not. So I've recorded it though. So I'm going to put it up on YouTube anyway tomorrow, and you can go see it then. Otherwise, I'll probably be back tomorrow night. Tomorrow being What's tomorrow? Tomorrow Sunday? Is that right? Yeah, I'm starting to lose track of time. Yeah, it's Sunday. Jesus. Um, but I might do a little. I don't know. 8 o'clock maybe is a good time, but I don't know. Maybe I'll start a little earlier because it's Sunday and some folks have to go to work on Monday. Um, but I don't know. I might do more of this. I might do some more, just kind of showing off my collection a little bit or something, unless something else pops up into my head that I want to talk about. Because God knows, maybe. I mean, maybe some folks will show up that we can just, actually have a chat. That would be cool. Anyway, so that's it for me. I'm gonna say goodnight. I'm gonna go make myself a late dinner, hang out with my cat, watch some television, and let that be the end of my night. Let's hope we wake up to better news as always. Thankfully, it seems like it's getting better slowly. Knock wood. Stay safe. Wear a fucking mask. Wear it correctly, please. Over the nose, over the mouth. Don't be an asshole. Wear a mask. Don't go out. Stop being stupid. All right, that's it for me. Good night.